We've been keeping our younger chickens in pens overnight, and during the day we have this removable fence. Every couple of days we move it to another section where there's this tall grass and weeds. So this is where they were for the last couple of days. They tore this all down, and on top of that chain link fence we have this chicken wire. Last night with Phyllis and Johnny right in with the chickens, this hawk came down and hit the chicken wire 3 times. Now I had this chicken wire tied to the chain link fence, and it actually pushed it in. This hawk is the size of a rooster and it has no fear. Is it matter? Huh?
I think we lost one.
Lost what?
Feathers.
Nah, it'll be more feathers than that. This hawk was on a fence. If you can see this fence, it was on a fence, and I was at this distance where I am now, and it didn't care at all that I was yelling at it or waving my arms. Now this morning, as we were moving the fence to this new area for the chickens, guess who came to visit? He is back. He or she, I'm not sure. I don't know how to tell. Now I don't know if the camera's picking this up. I can see him, but there he is in that tree. And let me tell you, he is bold. He has no fear whatsoever. I was within about 7 feet of him waving my arms, and he just stared me down. I don't know what we're gonna do, who I have to call to see if they can remove him from here. But this is a problem. This is a definite problem. Last night, either before he came to visit us, my next door neighbor was on the other side of those bushes, has chickens, and this guy nailed 2 of his chickens last night. One he just scraped up a little bit, one was bleeding pretty bad. I'm gonna go over and check today to see if it made it through the night. But he is fierce, man. He is something else. So now what we're gonna do today, we're putting up this fencing, and instead of putting the chicken wire across the top, I'm gonna use that big piece of plywood over there and some pallets on top so this guy can't knock it down. But this is something else. It's gonna be an interesting day. Look at him. He doesn't have a care in the world. And last night, I say last night, it was about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, there were birds flying all around. He had no interest in any of the birds. He wanted chicken, and there was no 2 ways about it. This camera doesn't have a zoom where I can zoom into it. Hope it's getting a good view of him in the camera. Look at him. He's just waiting. He knows those birds are here. Now my other chickens, the older girls, they're on the other side of that picket fence, and there's netting across the top, and they're not coming out. They know he's here. And these guys, it's kind of late right now. Look at this mess. But they... Oh, baby mouse. Now these guys, they tore this down pretty good. This will be easy to come in with a mower, and then I can rake this all up. This over here is a rock pit where I put firewood that wasn't any good and some old twigs, and we were going to have a fire and hot cocoa. We do that from time to time back here. But then the weather changed, the kids weren't here, and from not cutting around it, the weeds grew over it. So nothing to be done there. Now take a look over here. Here's the garden, and last year we extended the garden out this way. This is here because the deer reach in and eat. And this in here looked like this. This was just 3 days of these chickens in and out over here. They do a good job of knocking down the vegetation, and they're not making a sound. It's about 40 minutes past their watering and feed time. They're not making a sound. It's incredible the instinct they have. They know that hawk is in the air. Normally you come out here to feed them and let them out of these pens, they're clucking and making all kinds of noise, and if you're late, they're really making noise. Not today. Well, I have to get this together because I have a mess to take to the dump, and we still have to pen this together. So there he is. Hey? He's just waiting. Man, is he patient. And you got to see this, the wingspan on this guy. He flew low along my lawn. I don't know what he was chasing. He was not even about 8 feet away from me. He just swooped down on the lawn like nobody's business. A graceful animal to watch, but a terror when you have a flock. We've been out here for well over an hour. We moved the pen out of this section. Just to give you an idea, I want to point it out to you again. This over here looked like that. This was 3 days. So now, we spent an hour barricading these chickens in. The area that they're in right now is a lot smaller than what we usually do. It's usually this section over here, plus I have some pallets we built out. But I had to make this as secure as possible because that hawk is still hanging around. It's been over an hour and he's been patiently sitting in that tree. Johnny's gonna let these chickens out, and I want to get a close-up of that hawk to see if he swoops towards the pen when we let the chickens out. John, get that string, take that string, get it out of there before it gets messed up. Close this gate, because if they come out, they're done. Make sure none of them get out. Okay, that's good. They're not getting out of there. I'm gonna...
And I might not either.
Gonna walk around, get a close-up of that hawk. This is the garden, not doing that well this year. I think all this rain we had really messed us up. This is where I had the chickens before. They're still cleaning this up. This over here looked like this. Okay, there we go now. Hope the camera's picking him up. He's a beautiful looking bird. It's just one I don't want to have around. Look at him. I'm about, I would say 20 feet to him. Now, I don't know if that's the one that was here last night. The one last night I think was bigger. There must be a pair of them in the area. So look at this bird. Look at him. I can't tell. Yeah, let's see. Is he getting them? Look, he's just looking at me like he could care less that I'm here. Hey, John,
yeah?
Let the chickens out.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what he does now when these birds come out. That's where the chickens are. In between this jungle, there's a path. The chickens are over there. They're coming out now. Now these chickens, it's got to be close. I don't have a watch on me. It's got to be about 2 hours past their feeding time. Look how cautious they are. Normally they'd be flying all over each other, jumping up and down. They know. And he's still here. He's waiting. He's just waiting for a mistake. One mistake and it's all over. Point out how nature is. This is another mulch pile I have back here from when we throw the peach pits out. The peach tree grew out of that. This peach tree is about 4 years old. 5 years old maybe. I should have dug it out when it was smaller. But these peaches originally came from New York, Bronx, New York. The lineage goes back about 45 years. That's one of the trees my grandfather planted over there and it's still going.
It's 10:46, so it's 2 hours.
Okay. Johnny just told me it's 10:46. So what's that, Johnny? Past 2 hours.
46.
Past their breakfast. And I had to go to the dump today. I got barrels of stuff to take to the dump. Having a little car troubles the last few weeks. And I haven't been doing my weekly run. See? Again, it's something how they get that grass down. I'm just hanging out a few minutes here to make sure everybody's going to be okay. Now, funny, last night that hawk was swooping down real low, and our cat over here, Socks, was getting a little ahead of himself. This guy, he was jumping up at the hawk. Hawk is bigger than him. I don't know why he was jumping up at that hawk. And there it is. It's still up there. So this is what we have for these girls today. Like I said, it's a lot smaller pen than what they're used to. And we do this to get them used to free ranging. I've been doing this with them since they were about, maybe 12 weeks old. We give them their regular grain with their regular food. And on grass like this, normally I would throw some of their feet in the grass to get them used to foraging. Okay. Got to clean out their pens. At night, we've just put them in those pens, so the raccoons and whatever, give them a little more protection. And I'll leave them here maybe 2 days, if this grass will last that long. And then we'll move them down the line a little bit. They know. They are very, very cautious now. Like I said, you can see them in the morning. They're flapping their wings. They're fluttering all over. Not today. Hey girls, hey girls. Yeah, yeah. Well, they should be safe in here, unless this hawk tries to wiggle into one of these cracks over here. I have a few openings like this, but I think they'll be okay. I think. Oh, there's an opening over there on the other end. Okay. Johnny's trying to scare that hawk right now. He's waving his arms. It's just ignoring him. Johnny's on the other side of this tree over here. You can't see Johnny. Now he's looking at my cat. My cat just ran by. He's got his eyeball in the cat. Wow. Johnny just hit the branch, and that hawk just stayed there. No fear of humans whatsoever. None. This guy's been around for a while, and it doesn't look like he missed too many meals. I have to load up my trailer and get going. The dump closes at 12, and it's time for me to go. There's not going to be anybody home for about a couple hours. I have to pick up some more feed for these guys and the other ones. I'm going through a lot of feed. I calculated these guys, between buying them and feeding them, getting them ready for laying, they run between $15 and $20. And that's not the labor, and that's not including if you lose any along the way. It is an expense. Hey girls, come on. It's okay. Now I put their feet over in that corner, and you can see they don't want to go because the hawk is on that side. It's okay. It's okay. You're good. You can tell when a hawk is flying around. All these chickens will go into those pens by themselves, and they won't make a sound. And the ones in the back, they go right into the coop. When it's quiet out here, you know something's up. And when they're screaming, well, then it's too late. They love the fresh grass. Hope they're getting rid of our tick population that we have here. Here they go. It's moving? Yeah. Where is it? Which way did it go? It went to Neil? Why don't you run over to Neil and let him know it's flying around so he keeps his birds in?
He said he was going to keep his birds in for a long time.
Oh, he did? Okay. Well, that's it for now. Johnny was throwing sticks and whatnot up at that tree. He couldn't reach it, but it was enough that it finally aggravated it to move. 2-hour wait and no chicken. It's almost like going to McDonald's.
This is a jackpot.
He's big, man. When he was on top of the chickens, he's bigger than the chickens.
I know.
Wow.
He blends in good.
The hawk didn't get him, because if the hawk got the chickens, it wouldn't stay here. It would just take off. Unless there was a dead chicken on the lawn and it was waiting for us to leave so I could finish it. This hawk wants chickens. 2 birds flew by and it didn't even move. There it goes. Well, that's a wrap. Hope you have a great day, and until next time, stay safe.